Peace and welcome to all of my beautiful dope crown heads. Y'all go ahead and take this time out right now to like the video, share the video, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way you guys can be alerted, hopefully, okay, when we go live in the future. I am joined once again by my beautiful, lovely chocolate. What did I say I was gonna call you, my love? Chocolate gloriousness. Eric Bell, okay? He's joining us again this Sunday to have another dope discussion about relationships and some of the issues that we are running into. And something that my husband actually brought to me was the fact that a lot of guys have been coming to him with complaints about their women specifically not listening to them inside of their relationship. So it's a lot of women out there that don't respect the authority, the opinions, the words, the leadership, and so on and so forth from their men. And so my husband, wanted to come on today and kind of give us some insight and clarity on what you guys can do about that. And I'm going to also chime in to let us women know, why that's an issue and what we can actually do as well. So, welcome, my beautiful chocolate gloriousness. Peace to you. Thank you for coming through again. Y'all, my husband be busy, so I'm always ever so grateful when he joins us. Like, he's been gone. What time you leave, my love? 5?
7:30 or something like that.
Oh, I'm used to him leaving at 5, but on the weekends you leave at like 7. That's still all damn day, y'all. He just literally got home. So, shout out to him for joining us. Thank you, JD, for showing love already. Chris Tucker is it. What's up, Chris Tucker? I saw Chris Tucker over on Chantel Simone's platform earlier. Shout out to him. I did stop in for a little bit, and I love what you guys were talking about. So shout out to you. I stopped it. And I was like, you kind of look like Chris Tucker a little bit. And everybody was in the chat was like, yeah, he do. So shout out to you, JD. Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all give us 100 likes and help us out. And again, we're going to go ahead and start this off, okay? So, my love, what are some of the main issues you think men are running into as far as not having their women listen to them? Like, what do you think is contributing to that?
I feel like it's a lot of different factors. I mean, one of the factors that a lot of people don't talk about, a lot of times people talk about the man being intimidated by the woman, but I also feel like it's a vice versa there too. I feel like sometimes the women can be intimidated by the men in regards to when it comes to presenting information and things along those lines. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why some women do not listen to their men. It's an intimidation factor there. And then you could also, I don't want to factor in like insecurity, but sometimes when it comes to the dude, it could be the approach, just the way you are presenting the information to the woman. So those two things are like the main things, man. A lot of time it's an intimidation factor because like I even talked about one of my streams, a lot of women feel like they got to be the breadwinner, things like that. So it's a role reversal. So when it comes to even like the information and things like that, they feel the same way. They got to be the one presenting the information or bringing the knowledge to the table, and it can't be the man. So that's why a lot of times they won't listen. He don't know what he's talking about. And then they'll go out there and listen to another man say the same exact thing that we just said, and they bringing it to you like it's some new information, some groundbreaking information. So I feel like it's an intimidation there. And a lot of people don't talk about that. They only talk about it when it's the man being intimidated by the woman, but the woman can definitely be intimidated by the man mentally.
Well, that makes me want to hop into who was that? ML said. He says, women listen to women. And I feel like that's also a factor into why women probably don't listen to their man as well.
Women listen to men. Women they're just the wrong man. They don't listen to the right man.
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying they also listen to women probably a little bit too much. And I feel like that factors in.
I don't even agree with that because all the women that I've dealt with, they say that it's a common denominator. They don't even be liking women. It's like y'all don't be liking to be around one another. They always say they prefer to deal with another man. They prefer to be around men. Like they prefer to hear something from a man opposed to a woman.
I see both. I see women that are, going along the lines of what you're saying, that's why I don't deal with females. That's why I only hang around guys. I only do that. So I do feel you, and I agree. But what I see also, and I'm going to be real, especially on social media, in particular YouTube, women are listening to women, and they're taking the advice of what other women are telling them to do over what men are telling them to do. And I feel like a lot of women are giving women, unfortunately, you guys, the wrong advice. They're telling us to essentially emasculate men, make sure that you are conducting yourself in a way to where you are in charge, you're in control. And they will take a man that is trying to lead them and teach them and direct them and guide them. They will take that as him being toxic and controlling. And so whenever a man does come through and he is trying to give her insight and clarity or direction or whatever the case is, she'll take that as a slight to her and try to turn the tables around to make it seem like he's trying to dictate her, because they are listening to other women telling them that that's exactly what that is.
I mean, we saying listening in regards to what? Because I'm seeing the polar opposite. So I'm
listening, like as far as advice is concerned with relationships.
Because a lot of times when another woman they come to me and be like, well, they just hating and this, that, and the third, depending on what the advice may be. So it's like selective listening going on. So I see this on both ends, but I see it primarily the women don't like dealing with one another. Can't stand being around other women. And that's what I see primarily, just even in the space that I'm in. Hence why I have a lot of women clients. They don't even want to be trained by other women because they just don't like getting that type of information from another woman. Hence why they say they prefer a male trainer and things along those lines, because they just don't want to listen to what the woman has to say. She could be giving them the same information and the same type of training that I'm giving, but it's something because it's coming from a woman. And that's another intimidation factor. It's almost like another man listening to another man. Like, nah, I ain't gonna listen to him. So I feel like I didn't seen it more so on that end in regards to women not even liking to be around one another. And I feel like that's a problem that a lot of people don't touch on too, man. Women can't stand one another.
Like I said, I'm not arguing with it. I see it all. And I feel like all of it contributes into why a lot of women don't listen to men within their relationships. But to your point, there's also that element of why a lot of women may go towards a church or listening to their pastor or their preachers and stuff over there, man, because they are looking for, a man that they actually respect to give them that guidance. But so I see it all, and it's all an issue to me, but have you seen that as far as women going outside of their relationship and seeking the counsel of maybe another man that may be considered to be like in like a authoritative position, like maybe a coworker, a boss, or a preacher, or a pastor, something like that?
Sometimes that's the case. For the most part, like just even when it comes to what I do, like I would train couples. Mm-hmm. And it's like the dude could be in there as far as like form or some along the lines of how to eat. The dude could be in there breaking down the same thing that I'm about to tell him. But since it's coming from dude, she like, nah, I ain't gonna listen to dude. Then they ask me, and then I pretty much confirm and validate what dude just said. So that's again, that's my position and my authority and my expertise overruling his opinion on the subject matter. So a lot of times, man, I feel like it stems from a lack of trust too. A lot of women, they have trust issues. They didn't been lied to and all that type of stuff by some of these dudes that they didn't dealt with. So when a dude tell them something, they automatically are programmed and wired to just not trust what they saying. So a lot of times I feel like that's the case too, just the trust issues.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Sportsman. He says, hey, Danica and Eric, keep up the good work. We appreciate you. Shout out to you. And also, thanks for being a channel member. And shout out to Mr. DMT for becoming a channel member. So shout out to y'all. Y'all give us 224 likes, and we're going to just dive even more into this dope discussion. So today, you guys, we're going to talk about something that is common, especially in regards to our relationships. A lot of us women, unfortunately, we don't respect the men that we are actually laying down with. We don't respect the men that we are actually going home with, the men that are taking care of us, providing for us, protecting us. We will rather go outside of him to seek the advice of somebody completely different or a complete stranger. And we don't realize that what we're doing is essentially telling our men that we don't value his opinion. We don't value him. We don't think highly of him. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I was doing that even within our relationship when we first started talking. Like, I would have somebody else tell me the exact same thing that my husband just told me, and I wouldn't take it into account or take it into consideration until somebody else said it. And hindsight, looking back, the reason why I probably did that was because my husband, he's very much so a chill guy. Like, he's not going to make a big deal out of anything. Like, he'll tell you something, and then it's up to you to adhere to it or abide by or take heed to it. And like, he pretty much allows you to make your own decisions, come to your own conclusions. Right. And so I feel as females, okay, I just feel like this. And as females, we really don't take heed to real advice or to what people are telling us until, or unless I should say, it's being presented to us in a way to where it's like, I don't know, emphatic or authoritative, or like, you need to do this. Like we don't hear it unless it's like, nah, girl, you need to do this. Like, you have to actually put your foot down. And I know that sounds real misogynistic, right? Real pick-me-esque. But that's the real talk. A lot of women don't really adhere to what you have to say unless you do kind of like nail it to them or stick it to them a little bit. And I'm going to tell you from my personal experience, I would have probably kept doing it unless my husband didn't call me out on it and kind of check me. You know, like, you have to check me and say, girl, I just told you that. Now, why do you have to listen to it come from 3 other people or somebody else in order for you to, you know, think that that's good advice or think that's something that you can take into consideration? Like, you have to actually sternly check me in order for me to be like, okay, damn, that is something I'm doing. He did say that, you know, like, why didn't I listen to him? Why didn't I take his advice initially when he said the same thing? And I really do feel like it's because it's in and I know this sounds so bad. It's in a female's nature, y'all, to be a little bit checked. Do you agree with that, my love? Does that sound bad? I don't mean to sound abusive or nothing, but we need to be sternly checked sometimes to where it's like, girl, you know? And I feel like a lot of guys are a little bit too relaxed and lenient.
Nope.
No? Okay.
No.
Go ahead, my love.
Yeah, I'm saying,
go ahead and check me again.
I'm saying that stuff, it sounds good to say that, but you just justifying the simple fact that you did not listen.
That's true.
So like, nah, I didn't. It's plenty of times, man, people didn't see me get passionate. People didn't see me talk about things and get in that zone. So like, nah, it's been plenty of times where I have presented things to you in that type of manner, and you still would not listen to what it is that I'm saying. So no, that sounds great and whatnot, but
you present to me like in a stern way, like, girl, you need to do this.
When I'm passionate about something, like, I don't be reserved and I don't be relaxed when I'm talking about things that I'm passionate about. And one of the things that I'm most passionate about is giving information to people that I care about. So most of the time when I'm presenting any type of information to a person that I care about, I'm passionate. So I'm not chilling for the most part.
Mala, you be chilling.
No, you've seen me.
You don't be, y'all know, my husband be chilling. Look at him now. He chilling now. And so when he tell you something, he just gonna be like, look, this is what you should do. I feel like this.
Now, this is part of the problem about not listening.
Hold on, y'all. We giving y'all some live and direct examples. Hold on.
I'm telling you.
Let me listen, ladies.
I'm telling you that I have a pride. Know how I've approached you when I'm in my zone several times. Like, I ain't always just chilling when I present information, especially if it's pertaining to anything revolving around health, stuff that I'm passionate about. So I know I have presented, like you saying, every time I'd have presented something to you, I'd have been chilling.
A lot of times you be chilling, but I'm gonna listen.
That would not be that just wouldn't be accurate to say that.
Okay, so what do you think changed to get me to listen?
I mean, it's just the fact, like, sometimes what's sad is when they tell you sometimes, like, in order to get somebody attention, you just got to ignore them. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, straight up, sometimes you got to stop pressing the issue. Stop pressing the issue. Like, sadly, that's how y'all wired too. It's like when we stop presenting y'all with information, then now y'all feel some type of way. And now y'all feel like, oh, you don't never talk to me. You don't never share anything with me. It's like, because the times that I did, you wouldn't listen. But now that I stopped presenting information, now you want all my advice. You want all my expertise. You want all my recommendations. So that's what you really got to do. And it's sad that we got to do that. But the moment you stop sharing the information, you about to get her attention now. I mean, that's just what you got. That's just
okay. Now you own to some now with that too. But however, I should say, I feel like both of those things can be true though, my love. Like, cause sometimes you had to like really like nail it to me in order for me to listen. And then
but listen to what
he's
I'm saying,
also true when he's saying like when he stopped offering me or volunteering certain things, I'll come to him and be like, and you basically just shut up and be like, you know, I already told you. I ain't gonna keep telling you that. You ain't gonna listen anyway.
It's a contradiction.
So that's true.
Because you talking about if we do present it to you in that manner to where we checking you, then we get labeled all type of negative things like we controlling, we abusive, we toxic. So how you gonna tell me in the same breath that that's how I need to present it? Then the moment I do present it like that, I'm a villain. So like that ain't right, because a lot of times we viewing it like that. So if I present it in that certain type of way, then I'm gonna get labeled all type of negative things. That's why some men don't present it in that manner, because they already know the type of energy that's gonna come behind it in regards to us checking you. Like, that doesn't get received the right way all the time. So we know that from experience.
Well, I think that I will say that's subjective. It depends on the woman. I feel like for me that works for me. I do.
Right, but you gotta look at it from a man's point of view. It's 2021. It's hard for a man to say anything to a woman, and if we say the wrong thing, then things are not gonna line up in our favor. So we got to be real mindful in regards to how we communicate to women. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just how we wired. That's just how it is for us. Like, we got to be real mindful in regards to how we convey a certain type of message to women in 2021. It's a real sensitive world these days. So we got to watch how we approach and communicate with these women. So you got to look at it from that point of view. If we checking you, then we get labeled controlling. We get labeled. If you check me, you get labeled strong. Oh, you a strong woman, this, that, and the third. But if I check you, I'm toxic, I'm controlling. And you got to understand that that's what's going through our mind. Like, that I need her to do this, but if I approach it a certain type of way, this is how she may view it like this. So we got to wrestle with all those type of emotions. But if you turn around and I do something you don't like, you check me, the whole world gonna applaud you. So you ain't got to worry about no ramifications or consequences that come with checking me. If I check you and you take it the wrong way and you put me on blast, I'm done. I'm done. Like, as a man, I'm done. So I gotta that's registering in my mind. Like, if I check you or say the wrong thing and you take it the wrong way and you having a bad day and you decide to put me on blast, I'm done.
Well, I don't think that checking necessarily has to be done in a way that is aggressive, though.
Right, but that's personality. You got to know your person. That's me. If I check somebody in my passionate manner, it's never going to come off. You never going to receive that well. We've done that. We've been there, done that plenty of times. So I'm a passionate person. So I'm not going to be able to check somebody with that passion without them viewing it in a negative light, because I know how I come off when I'm passionate about something. When I'm so-called checking somebody, it's never received well. A lot of people misunderstand my passion. So I know myself. So I know, like, all right, if I approach it in a checking manner, it ain't gonna get received well. So I might as well not do that. Oh, why are you yelling? It's gonna be stuff like that.
Yeah.
So no, I know myself. Some people can do that. I can't though.
So what's the best means of checking to you?
First of all, we shouldn't have to do that. Like, that sounds toxic. Like, that's toxic. Why are you requesting that I check you? Why can't I just give you some information and you just listen? I shouldn't have to check you. Like, that's toxic. Like, I should not have to check my woman in order for her to listen. I should simply be able to say, I got this information today. I feel like this information is useful here.
Well, to me, checking is correcting, and sometimes you're gonna need to do that. That's just being realistic.
I'm not talking about correcting. I'm not talking about correcting. I'm talking about teaching. Like, I'm giving you information. I'm not correcting anything. I'm just giving you information that's helpful.
Well, but sometimes it's gonna be times in the relationship, every relationship, to where somebody is doing something that is not in alignment.
I'm not even talking like the whole premise of this video. I'm talking about dudes that have tried to like introduce their women to certain things and concepts, and they would not listen. That's different in regards to somebody doing something you don't like, and you have to literally check them because they did something that may have disrespected you.
Well, I think both of those things should be addressed in this video.
What I'm saying is, if I'm giving you some information that has nothing to do with checking. I shouldn't have to check you to like listen to what I'm saying in regards to some helpful information. Now, if you do something I don't like, obviously you should be checked because you did something that I felt like is disrespectful. So you're gonna have to check that person regardless.
Right. And it's a lot of females, I'm sorry, out here that still won't listen to you after she's done something that's disrespectful to you, that you have a problem with, that you are addressing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we should talk about both of those things. Introducing certain things to your woman and her not listening to that, and having to correct certain things about her and she's not listening to that. That's when I do feel like you need to check somebody. When you presented something that was an issue for you and they're still not adhering to that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's not even a like, that's in general though.
Right.
You're gonna check that person in general because you brought something to them. You told them you don't like when they do this, that, and the third, and they still do it. Like, you're gonna check that person in general. You're gonna check a child that do that. You're gonna check your parent when they do that. You're gonna check your grandparent. Like, you're gonna check anybody that does that. But I'm just talking about merely presenting information, like presenting health information, or even a business tip, something that like, all right, man, you should do this to your channel. And I keep telling you consistently, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do it. You're not doing it. Then you out somewhere and somebody approach you and tell you to do the exact same thing I've been hammering 5 months for you to do. Mm-hmm. And they tell you that, and then you just listen to it, and then you bring it back to me like I ain't been telling you that, and then now you implement it. Like, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to check you. Like, if I told you something that is helpful, that's not destructive, that's not toxic, that I feel like it helped take you to the next level, or whatever the case may be, improve your life, whatever. Like, I shouldn't have to put in strenuous work and effort to get you to listen to that type of information. Like, that just is not necessary.
Right. Y'all give us 340 likes. Shout out to you, Terenzo. He says, my people really want to know human psychology. Study the M and F in the military. There's a lot of darkness there, as some women cheat on men on deployments and some men cheat while away. Neither listen to each other at all. Interesting, Terenzo. I actually watched this girl on YouTube, and her husband, he's in the military and he's gone a lot. And she actually divorced him because she felt like she was a single mother anyway, because he's always gone. So I guess having that distance can have a strain on your relationship. But Terenzo, he has got something deep for us to go and look up and study. Who else did I see? I missed somebody in my life. I'm trying to keep up. Thank you, Eugene, again. He says, fellas, you have to make sure you are together mentally before you enter a relationship so that you can guide your woman correctly. Ladies, you will have to trust your man. Absolutely. And I think that's what you were hitting on earlier, is a lot of women don't trust their men.
I mean, some of them don't trust themselves. So, you know what I'm saying? If you already ain't trusting yourself, then I know you ain't about to trust me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times that's the case too. That self-trust is not there, you know? So that's also a key.
That is true. That is true. But in addition to that, I feel it's because, and I'm just going to be real, because I hear women, I hear what they say, I hear females, I hear what they talk about. A lot of that contributes to them maybe putting their trust, and you said that earlier too, into the wrong man or the wrong men in the past. And they feeling like, I've been there, I've done that before. He led me astray. He led me down the wrong path. And so I'll never do that again. And so even if you do come into a woman's life and you do have the right intentions for her, she can still have this guard up to where she doesn't want to listen to you, or she doesn't want to adhere to maybe some advice or suggestions you may be trying to give to her, or she doesn't want to, follow your leadership because she's tried that before and a guy let her down. So that's something as well. Did I get everybody? I get everybody, my love. I keep missing people. I'm trying to put it up on my phone too. Audio says true. That's valid. Yeah. So, I'm gonna ask you something uncomfortable. All right. And you might get crucified for this. It depends on how you answered it.
I done been crucified my whole life.
Do you feel as though there are men out there that are not qualified to lead? And do you feel like that is what the issue is?
I mean, yeah, of course. I'm not gonna say everybody is qualified to lead, but everybody can earn the qualification. But I don't know. Yeah, there are definitely some men that are not qualified to lead. And the sad reality of that is a lot of them been raised by single mothers, though.
My love. Now you trying to get me canceled.
I'm just saying what it is.
God dang, like
a lot of them then grew up around a bunch of women, and that's just a fact. Large majority of them, you know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
Did he really just say that?
There is no way, and that's just the reality. That's the reality of the situation.
Y'all not gonna do this. He not gonna get me canceled, Henny. Oh hell no. Because this is what the female's gonna tell you. Okay.
I already know what they're gonna say. I already know the
argument. I'm giving that Oshun tonight. Hold on. This is what the female's gonna tell you. Who's creating the single mothers, sir?
We can get that. That's a deep discussion, which we don't want to go into there, because a lot of times people talk about that, but they're not really educated on how the system designed it that way for it to be beneficial for the man to be out the household. So don't blame the man solely for that. So if you really do the knowledge and you really study the history, it was beneficial, and they created that by design. It was beneficial for the man to be out the household. So the single mother got a bunch of benefits. Therefore, they kicked the man out the household. So that's the system that constructed that. So if they want to bring that to me, then we can pull out the information. We can pull out the research. We can pull out the studies. We can pull out the laws that were created for them to benefit from being single mothers. So that ain't. I'm not about to.
So are you trying to say?
I ain't trying to say anything. It's a fact.
Are you trying to say that these females want to be single mothers?
Right, because the system designed it that way, because it benefits them. Hence why you got these women preying on young athletes and things like that, trying to get put on that child support, because it benefits them to do so. You know what I'm saying? The system is set up in a way that it benefits them to be single mothers. Like, let's just be real in the field. You know, that's just an actual fact, and it's been that way for a minute. Who schooled me to that? Some old school man. Like I got the game from the men that was around that time where they was creating these laws. So I know this to be a fact. I ain't just making this up. Plus, got research to corroborate what I'm saying.
Okay, but what about modern day? You talking about back in
right
the day.
When you do something, it's just like slavery happened. How many years ago? We still affected by it.
Okay,
so it doesn't just because it's modern day. Like, it's the reason why they continue. Is repetition. They psychologically destroyed us, and it's going to affect us to the modern day, just like all the foods and stuff we addicted to. Like, all of it, all those addictions and all that type of stuff started way back when, and it's affecting us right now to this day. That's why I say we got a long way to go. But that's a fact, though. Like, if anybody got a problem with what I just said, the research is corroborating what I'm saying. This ain't something that I'm just speaking on, making up. This is a fact. Like, this is a fact. The system is in your favor to be that. You're going to get a lot of rewards for being a single mother, and it's been that way. And if anybody feels some type of way about that, it's just their emotions taking over. And I don't debate people that are emotional.
Yeah, I know he didn't just say this. So he's saying y'all purposefully choosing these men that can't lead.
It's not. See, the thing of it is, it's deeper than that, though. I'm not saying it's purposeful. I'm saying the system designed it. See, people got to understand what I'm saying. People think I'm playing the blame game. What I'm doing is I'm just acknowledging roles. The system designed it that way. So that it's like it's a subconscious thing. It's a subliminal thing. So that's what's happening. It's like when they say slavery is not physical no more. It's psychological. Like, that's what it was. Like, the system was designed in a way to make it beneficial for the man to be out the household. Then you got things like the Willie Lynch letter that told you what was going to happen in regards to the division between the man and the woman, the black man and the black woman, and things like that. So all of this type of stuff is psychological. It's deep. It's levels to it. It's layers to it. It's really not that simple. But to act like the system ain't played no part in this, that's the problem I have with the situation. A lot of times we just make it seem like it's a black man versus black woman thing, and we acknowledge the role that the system has played in it, when the system has definitely played a role in it. And I don't like when we overlook that or ignore that. That's just a fact. And it affects us in a multitude of different ways.
So you saying a lot of the men that are unfit to lead are the men that were in households with single mothers.
Right, because the system designed it to be that way, and they knew what type of man they were creating when they did that. That was the whole purpose of that. That's one of the ways that they wanted to effeminize the man. They knew that to be a fact. They knew if I get the man out of the household and we start having these young men or these young boys, they gonna come up underneath the woman, and they knew what that would do, you know. And that's just a fact. Hence, when you go back to slave times, when they would take the man and they would kill the man in front of the woman and child, they knew what was happening. They knew what they was doing. So that's exactly what I'm saying. It's deep. It's deeper than just black men not being fit to lead, and it's deeper than that, man. I feel like it's a lot deeper than that. A lot of times we don't touch on the deep aspect of it. We just look at it merely from a black man versus black woman perspective, and I feel like it's a lot deeper than just that. Like, our problems are a lot deeper than that, and a lot of times people are afraid to go deep, and I know why people are afraid to go deep, because if you start going too deep, you already know what's going to end up happening to you. So I know why people don't be wanting to go too deep with it.
Y'all give us 403 likes. My love. Now, I gotta have a solution. So, let's say you're a young man and maybe you're not accustomed to being in a leadership role because of your upbringing. What advice would you give to those men?
Right. It ain't even really advice. It's nature. That's why most of these dudes gravitate towards a father figure. And that's why some of them find the streets, because they got the neighborhood, the OG in the neighborhood that they've been looking out for them. So it ain't really advice. You just got to find the right father figure. Most young men, like, they gonna try to find that father figure. They gonna try to find a male that's older than them that they can look up to. But sometimes it's the wrong male. It's that dude in the neighborhood that ain't up to no good that's looking out for him. Hence they join the gang, do whatever the case may be. But you just got to look up to the right man. So in that regards, those of us that have the knowledge, those of us, and I'm talking about the men, those of us that are doing what's right and exact, we got to do a better job of dealing with the youth. A lot of times I see brothers that's doing well for themselves, they forget where they came from. So when the youth try to approach them, like, so when a young man comes up to the middle class black man, try to get some advice, he turned his nose up at him. We got to stop doing that, because when we do that, we telling them go right to the streets. Like, that young man is looking to you because he don't have a father in his life, but you done made it to a certain position and you turning your nose up at him. Now he like, all right, well, I tried to talk to the wealthy black man, but he don't want anything to do with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the streets. So we just got to do a better job. Those of us that are in the know, those of us that have made something of ourselves, whatever the case may be, we got to do a better job at just teaching and guiding these young men that come to us, man, because they're going to come to us because it's natural. You're going to naturally seek that father figure as a young man. You're just going to do that. If you don't have a father, you're going to see it, whether it's the uncle, the grandfather, something, you're going to seek for that. You're going to seek for that role model. That's a male, just like a woman, and vice versa. You're going to seek, our young girl, she's going to seek for that mother figure. This is going to happen.
So just basically seek a father figure or a male role model.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Showing improving.
Right. That ain't destructive.
Right. Okay.
But it's hard to hold that to a, you know what I'm saying, like a 10, 11, 12-year-old to make that type of decision. So we just got to be better role models.
So
like
just be more 11, vocal.
Like if you a 12-year-old and this dude out in the streets, like he 25, 30, he your OG, like, you really ain't caring about what he doing at 12. He just giving you money. He buying you clothes at 12. That's all you care about. You really don't care about, like, his message, his substance. Like, you ain't worried about that. Like, you 12, you like, man, this dude bought me something for Christmas. I'm excited now. I fool with him. I trust him. So the adults, we got to do better. Okay. We, like us grown men, we just got to do better. We got to stay on our square and do things like that, man. We just got to be more righteous collectively, and we got to promote the righteousness more. Yeah, you know, because the negativity and the destruction, it's already out here. It's being promoted. It's being pushed. So we got to do a better job of pushing the positivity amongst black men. They need to see that a lot more.
And that's why I love that we have been doing these live streams together, because I feel like they also need to see the man and the woman together, you know, and what that looks like and what that feels like, what that reality is, and how you can build, you know. So I think that's important too.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't, you know what I'm saying, they don't know what a healthy relationship is. A lot of times healthy relationships to them is they mom dating several dudes, getting beat on, little stuff like that. So when they see, you know what I'm saying, a couple that's been together, been married for 20, 30, 40 years, like, that's a taboo now. That used to be like the norm. And no matter what, you know what I'm saying, no matter what the husband put the wife through or the wife put the husband through, like they stayed together. That was the norm. Now, nah, like every time you probably look up, it's like mother dating somebody new or my dad dating somebody new. Like that's what they used to. They're not used to seeing consistency.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So all of that is factored into the equation, man. So when they see it, they're like, all right, it's possible.
Right. You know, and you can disagree without having to have, you know, it be destructive. Like, and I feel like we do that pretty good. You know, you have your perspectives, I have mine, and we're able to come together in the middle and, you know, gain better understanding of one another. I feel like that's important too. But shout out to you, Frog Box. He says what Mr. Bell is saying is that that welfare state has created incentives. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. Did that spell right?
It's insensitive, but he probably incentives, man.
Okay, my husband, that's why I got him, so he can. I'm like, what is that word? Created incentives to cause women to depend on the state instead of the man to usurp. I couldn't. I wanted to say usurp. I'm like, what the hell is
usurp?
Usurp a man's God-given authority and destroy the family. Absolutely. And I agree with that. And like my husband was saying, you know, it still has an effect even today on our mentality today. Even young girls that may not even be aware of what they're doing it.
And that's why I say this stuff is deep. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's like with what my profession.
It's unconscious.
Like you don't even like you addicted to certain foods and don't know why. Like that's what I'm talking about. It's called the collective unconscious. Like we passing down this trauma, we passing down this nonsense, this toxicity. Like, yes, that's happening. That is a reality. And people ignore that. And that's why a lot of times I feel like we just look at things on the surface, again, just making it a black woman versus black man issue. And it's like that's what they want. So it's like we feeding right into the agenda every time we do that. That's what they want. That, you know, they want that. So.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's important for people like us, couples like us, to, you know, be vocal about certain things. You know, you don't really see a lot of young black couples, married couples, you know, coming together and actually speaking truth to power and, you know, putting people up on certain things. This is very important, my love. Like this is revolutionary. Okay, even if y'all don't know it right now, this is revolutionary. Black love is revolutionary, you know, and it's possible, you guys. Thank you, Antoine. That's true. He is right. Those of us who grew up without a father do eventually at some point seek out father figures. Okay, so that's a solution for you guys that maybe have not been exposed, or you don't have the luxury of growing up in a household with a father figure. You can actually go and seek out righteous men to actually show you how it's supposed to be done.
And the righteous men can't, like, don't turn them away. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, if they go to the right, like, for the most part, man, these little dudes don't want to be bad. So it's like they gonna seek the positive person. Like, that I see you out here going to work doing your thing, but a lot of times, like I said, they get turned away by these individuals. So it's like we got to stop doing that, man. If you that righteous brother, man, it's just your calling, man. It's just something you got to do. When that young brother comes to you, like seeking that father figure, you just got to embrace that role, man. You just got to embrace it and accept it.
JC Reynolds says, I agree, sir. And Miss Danica, you really have a good husband. Yes, I know, you already know. Yeah, I got me a delicious chocolate deluxe supreme righteous man. You know, I love him. Shout out to Mr. Bell. All right. Who else did I see? Dominic. And Dominic said that's how you say his name, Dominic. So stop calling him Dominique.
Man, I just knew a lot of Dominique.
His name is Dominic. It will be Nique. It's not that, my love. It's Dominic. Okay. Shout out to Dominic. He says, I agree with you, King. My Afro professor said the same thing about the household. Books as well. Same for me. My dad was a G, so I looked for that guidance. 100. All right, now. Yeah, we should have at least 400. And I saw 43, so we better at least have 443 likes, y'all. Y'all help us out. But let's get back into our topic at hand, though, my love, as far as women not listening to their men, you know. And thanks, Adrian. Keep doing y'all thing. We're gonna keep doing our thing, okay? But I love that we do go into the different layers of these discussions because it does help to shed light on, different issues that
And
we
then,
can
speaking
resolve.
before I forget that's just speaking on the levels and layers to not listening. That's also part of the design. They didn't already got y'all out here saying that women are the most like more educated than men, like stuff like that. So it's like when I come and I offer my educated opinion, you think because you got all these degrees, because that's what society then led you to believe, I'm more educated than you, so you don't know what you're talking about. That's another reason why a lot of women don't listen to men, because again, as the stats say, they more educated. So they feel like you can't tell me nothing. I'm qualified. And I've heard a lot of women use those credentials to prove a point. Like I got my PhD, this, that, and the third. Women gonna do that a lot more than dudes. Like, man, I got degrees, but you rarely hear me talk about them to prove a point. A lot of times I done seen women use that, like I got my PhD in this, that, and the third. I'm Dr. Such and such. Who cares? That don't mean you can't be wrong and things like that. So when you are a man and you come along and try to give a woman like that any type of advice or suggestions, you might as well cancel Christmas. For the most part, they not gonna listen, especially if they don't feel like you on their level. So I've seen that as well, man. Just the educational system kind of manipulate women into not listening to men. Like just thinking that dudes ain't qualified simply because a lot of us, or some of us, some men ain't really taking that route. It's like, nah, chill. Like I know what I'm talking about, but that educational system, it also plays a part into them not listening as well, because they feel like they are more educated.
Yeah.
Like,
but this goes back to my point earlier. A lot of women will teach women and tell women that that's what they should be standing on. That's what makes them more qualified. That's what makes them better. This is what, feeding into their stances of being the HBICs, to being the ones that are in control and in charge. And you don't have to listen to them. I hear women tell women, because you are this, you have this status, you have this degree, you have this accomplished, you don't have to listen to no man or abide by his rules or, take or adhere to his suggestions, so on and so forth. You know more than him. You're more educated than him.
Right. So no, I think we misunderstanding what's happening here. I'm not caring that they may listen to other women. The fact, like, I'm not concerned about that. The thing of it is, they don't listen to the man. They gonna listen to any and everybody outside of the man that's giving them the same advice. So whoever they feel like is qualified to give them this type of advice, they gonna listen to them more so than they listen to their man. Whether it comes from a woman, whether it comes from a man.
Okay.
Outside of their actual guy, the person that they are in a relationship with. No matter who the information comes from, if it so-called resonates with them, then they gonna accept that. They're going to accept no matter who it's coming from. I've seen it on both ends. So it don't matter as long as it comes from a so-called qualified person in that particular field. They're going to listen to that individual, and your dude could have been telling you the same thing.
Okay.
Mans could have been telling the same thing.
I feel you.
So it's like you could have prevented yourself from wasting 5 months to a year if you just would have listened to your man that was telling you that a year ago. And then there's a lot of you try to justify. You try to justify.
Females telling them that too, though, my love.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of women, because when you go to the church, like when you talk about churches, like who is leading that for the most part is a dude. So it's like for the most part, man, like when it comes to some serious advice, a lot of dudes are giving them advice, whether it's the pastor, like even like a lot of these professors, man. When I was in college, a lot of that information was coming from men. So it just depends on what we discuss, and it depends on what we talking about in regards to whether or not they're gonna listen. I'm not here to say who they getting it from, but I'm saying it comes from both. They'll listen to another man outside of the dude they supposed to be listening to, and they listen to another woman. They'll listen to both.
Yeah.
But it's just they won't listen to the people that they are really supposed to be listening to. And sometimes you even do that outside of your relationship with like your spouse or your partner. You would do that to like your fam.
Yeah.
Instead of you listening to your pops or your mom, like they've been telling you this, but then somebody else tell you listen. So it's like the people that we like that's closest to us, we just don't listen to them. And they giving us helpful advice, like in things along those lines. But then when somebody comes along, give us the same information. I mean, I done had this problem not only just in relationships, like I've had this problem within my family. You know what I'm saying? I tell family members something, and then they come back and tell me what somebody from their job said or something along those lines. I'm like, man, I told you that two years ago.
Right.
So it's a problem. all across the board.
Well, I think that could also be an ego thing.
That's what I'm saying. With it, like being intimidated, like that's your ego. Like that's part of that.
Yeah. Like I don't want to hear from you. I'd rather hear from somebody else.
But in the same breath,
I don't feel like I'm listening to you.
But the problem I have with women when they do that is that they don't have no problem trying to tell a man what to do. So then when we tell you what to do, then now it's a problem. That's the problem that I have with that. So when we tell you what to do, when we offer our expertise and advice, you don't want to listen. But then when you tell us something, we supposed to listen automatically, no problems. Let the tables reverse. Now it's a problem, and it's World War III in this joint. But when y'all don't listen to us, y'all got a reason, y'all got a justification. Oh, it wasn't my time and all that type of stuff. Like, but then when y'all tell us something and we don't listen right away, then we hard-headed, we stubborn. Like men get labeled stubborn quite often. I feel like that's an unfair assessment because a lot of times women are the most stubborn, but we get labeled stubborn. Like men get labeled stubborn a lot more than women. And from just experience, like women be quite stubborn as well, but y'all don't get labeled that as much because y'all come up with these fancy justifications for why y'all not listening to the man. Y'all can say things like y'all had trust issues and y'all done had problems with men in the past leading y'all astray. We can't say nothing like that. If we start talking about all the women that we dealt with in the past that we didn't trust, this, that, and the third, they start labeling us soft and all this type of other nonsense. So it's acceptable when y'all start saying things like that. So y'all don't get labeled stubborn. Y'all didn't listen for good reason. When we don't listen, we just stubborn instantly. We just don't listen. We stubborn. We hard-headed instantly. And that's just experience, just being a man. Like I would get labeled stubborn, hard-headed off of not listening once. And I've seen women not listen 1,000 times and it's with good reason and it's justified. Well, she done been dealing with all these dudes in her past. They led her astray. It's a sob story that gets accepted. Men ain't got that. We don't have the ability to create a sob story that gets accepted by the world in regards to people not listening to us. They say we whining, we crying, and all that type of stuff, man.
Who hurt you?
All that type of stuff. So it's like we soft and all that. So it's lose out here for the dudes sometimes when it comes to subjects like this, man. It's hard for us to like win and make any progress.
That's why I have these conversations. That's why I'm glad that you do join so you can give the male perspective. But shout out to you, Ataka Zulu. He says, hey, Queen Danica. Yo, Eric, what's up, King?
Peace, my brother.
Peace. Thank you, Nuruddin. Danica, he's right. How was it that these women have all these degrees and are educated, but make the worst decisions in men ever? Wow.
And let me drop y'all a jewel on that too.
Bar.
First of all, y'all using that to say y'all more intelligent than dudes. I'm talking about these degrees, and more than likely a man is giving you the degree, and more than likely you finna work for a corporation that's headed by a man.
Oh,
so shit. Stop doing that.
Did you really go there, my love?
That's what I'm saying.
Did you really go there?
I'm just saying they want to use those degrees, but I got the degree, so I can talk. But I'm saying,
how many degrees you got?
So I'm saying 2. And I got a bunch of certifications. So I across the board, I'm solid. But what I'm saying is I don't use those degrees. You don't never really hear me use those degrees. A lot of times I just hear women talk about these degrees.
You graduated at the top of your class. You got 2 degrees. You certified. You just highly educated. But you're right. I don't never hear you.
Don't nobody hear me talk about it unless I'm talking about the fields in which I have my degrees in to prove a point back when I had to study the stuff in school. That's the only time you hear me bring it up. Other than that, I don't use my credentials to try to talk down on anybody in a condescending manner. And a lot of women do that. A lot of women are used. I'm like, man, first of all, man gave you that degree. Guarantee you probably shook a man's hand to get that degree. I guarantee you.
My love, you're not
and then
gonna
you probably the corporation, when you trace it up the food chain, that CEO is probably a man. So stop.
So are you essentially saying that these females have these quote unquote bragging rights and having all these degrees, also they can go and submit to another man anyway?
That's what I'm saying.
God's damn. That is the catch to it all.
Your boss right now might be a woman, but her boss probably a man that you don't see. I
know he just pulled another layer on us.
I'm just saying, people don't be wanting to hear that type of reality and that type of truth. But you're not about to,
ladies,
because black men, we are at the end of that. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to talk bad about black men and things like that. So I ain't got time for that. So I gotta stand up for us in that regard. You know what I'm saying?
Lady,
Don't be trying to
he just
use.
basically told us, yeah, you feel like you so big and bad because you got these degrees that you getting ready to go and take and submit to another man's
And you probably
leadership.
miseducated anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even gonna get into that. You didn't.
My love, you and Nerdine ain't gonna get me canceled now. Like, come on now.
I'm just
Come on
saying,
now.
you bragging about a
Come
degree
on now.
for coming from these institutions.
Oh shit. Y'all give us 464 likes. This guy is my husband. Shout out to him. He's coming through today and he's just thoroughly breaking some things down for us, giving us the male perspective on certain topics and subjects at hand pertaining to relationships. Today we're talking about women not listening to the men that they are in relationships with, the men that they are married to, the men that they have devoted their lives to, so on and so forth. The men today are finding themselves in a little bit of a pickle. You know, their women are taking the advice, the leadership, the guidance, the instructions from everybody but them. And my husband is coming through to help us out with that issue. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I got Ataka Zulu. I got Nuruddin. How you say this name? Narutaru? Now, how you say that, my love? Narutaru?
Yeah.
We don't know, but we're gonna try to find you. I'm gonna call you Narutaru. I don't know. Oh, help me keep up because I'll be all over the place. You know, we both get a little bit passionate and then we lose track. Okay, I got Nuruddin. I got Steven. Thank you, Steven. Thank you for the facts. Eric, we don't talk, we work. All right now. Right now. Thank you, Eugene. He says, every time I listen to a married couple collaborate with each other, they show me what a healthy marriage looks like. You are the realest couple on YouTube. Shout out to us. I appreciate that. And we're not perfect, you guys. And what I don't want you guys to do, it's a lot of us that do this, and I feel like it's because we don't have a lot of positive examples or good examples of what healthy Black relationships or love looks like. I don't want you guys to pedestalize us. You know, Eric gets on my nerves. I get on his nerves. You know, we argue sometimes. He got to go, you know, get in the car, go for a drive and shit. Like, we have our ups and downs, okay? But the thing of it all is to come back together and learn how to build, learn how to love each other, and work through those differences and reach a solution. All right. So don't be like, oh, they goals. No, be your own goal. All right. But thank you so much, Eugene. Who else? Naruto, I think I missed you. I can't pull you up on the screen, but I do see you on my phone. And that's why I'm ever so grateful that I do have my phone pulled up. Yeah, I don't see him on the screen. Do you? Nope. But he says, hey, Danica, I seen your recent videos with your husband. He is a very smart man, and I love the interactions between you guys. It's pretty wholesome. Also, Eric is the rare Sigma male. I can tell his actions are his words. Thank you so much. So that's that. You know what a Sigma is, don't you?
I don't concern myself with all that, so I really don't know. I mean, y'all know most of the people that follow me know what I am, so I identify as that. I don't got time for all that.
They basically say a Sigma male is an alpha male that's introverted. You don't feel the need to bounce your balls or broadcast that you're alpha and you're almighty like you just are. It exudes from your essence. I like the Sigmas more than the alphas, actually. My platform, my crown heads, the men on here, y'all actually taught me what Sigma was. And I was like, I kind of like Sigma over alpha. And lo and behold, that's because I got one at home, y'all. I got me a chocolate Sigma at home. God dog. Shout out to y'all. Rob, I appreciate you. Thank you, Eric and Danica, for this broadcast and the knowledge that comes with it. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Just My 4 Cents. Since the Garden of Eve, Black women never listened to the Black man, Adam. She seeked knowledge, degree from Lucifer, God dog, and destroyed the garden, the community. And what you got to say about that, my love? Just those 4 cents.
What do you mean? What I got to say about that?
You got anything that you want to say to that? Now, me and my husband, we're not religious, but we can take the best part from things and break it down into layers.
I mean that's a whole nother subject topic right there, because I mean I'm not, the book in which that came out of, I feel like it's problematic towards how women are depicted in that particular book. So I ain't really too fond of, you know what I'm saying, using that as an example for what it is that I'm even talking about, you know, because I just have a lot of issues with the book in which that came out of. So
my love, we're not even gonna break that down.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I get what he's saying from a allegorical standpoint, but
yeah,
I don't. This the thing. The thing of it is, I ain't, you know, I don't talk bad. I just feel like that would be disrespecting women. Now, I don't disrespect. I just point out things, the flaws, that, you know what I'm saying, like stuff that I've experienced and, you know what I'm saying, dealt with. That's what I point out. But if anybody know anything about me, like the black woman is protected in my presence and stuff like that, I'm always talk highly of them, things of that nature. So I'm gonna point out flaws in regards to black women and black men collectively, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna make it seem like it was just by design and it's just some type of situation like that to where they're not gonna listen. It's like we done been programmed and conditioned. And that's honestly why things are the way that they are. So we gotta deprogram, you know what I'm saying? We gotta unlearn and all those type of things, man. So that's really where we at with it.
Peace. I appreciate that. Thank you, Nuruddin, again. I don't look for education. I look for intelligence. Yeah, because you can have a degree and still be ignorant.
Most people do have degrees in art.
And you can have a degree in something that's like, I'm sorry to say, but kind of pointless. Like, what are you going to do with that?
I mean, you could do anything with you. It just depends on the person.
I mean, I know that. That's why it came off wrong. But I'm just saying, a lot of people out here bragging about having degrees in
the degree. Basically, it's insinuating that you
in beetle bugs
that you just have like patience, that you are able to sit in a classroom structure and all that type of stuff. That's all that degree is indicating. It really don't have anything to do with your intelligence. If anything, it's just memorization. You just memorizing and all that type of stuff. So it really ain't no level of intelligence. But I'm not gonna make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, people that got degrees for the most part are just dumb and wasted their time. Right. So it can be beneficial depending on the person. And
depending on, you know, what you have the degree in.
Yeah, you can take the best. You can learn. I mean, no matter what the degree in, you can literally learn from anything. You know what I'm saying? As we say, I study life around me. So whatever your degree in, you can take something from it because it's a best part to everything. Yeah. It's just what you choose to do with it. But
I'm saying it's people out here that just be trying to brag and
right. That's what I'm saying.
And it's like
when you do that,
you need to sit down with that degree.
And you probably working for a person that don't even have a degree.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like when they had a lot of these basketball players that
just heard all the egos
fresh out of high school, like a lot of these millionaires and billionaires fresh out of high school, never graduated with any type of degree, yet they telling you to go get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what you bragging about? The people that you working for, the people that's probably writing your check, probably ain't even got a degree and don't even care to get it. They probably own the whole institution and stuff like that.
That is true though,
it's
y'all.
Like for the most part, like it's all a game at the end of the day, man.
That
they be
is
scamming,
extremely true.
You gotta know what you are trying to do before you commit to something like school. Just don't use it for bragging purposes. Right. I'm gonna just accumulate all these degrees so I can brag.
Yeah,
that's not really impressive to me.
Y'all give us 480 likes. I saw 483 of us earlier. Y'all go ahead and give us our likes. But that's really true. And that's something that a lot of people probably don't think about, especially women, because we have a lot of our pride in our education and our degrees and stuff like that. And a lot of us are out here talking about how we got these master degrees and we got this and we got that. And I'm gonna be honest, the first thing I think about as somebody that never went to college, what would you consider cosmetology school? And what else did I do? Real estate. What is that? Is that like trade or something?
I mean, man, it's just, you can put it in those lines. Like, I mean, it's all education.
I mean, I have licenses and stuff like that, but I've never went to college. But the first thing that I think of when I see people out here, especially women, because those are the main people that I see. Like my husband said, like my husband graduated at the top of his class. With honors and all kind of things. He got 2 degrees, a lot of certifications. He's not out here bragging about that. Y'all wouldn't even know he went to college. at university and stuff like that. Y'all wouldn't know. And so I see a lot of women out there bragging about this. And the first thing I'm thinking about, I'm going to be real, is, damn, she has to be in a lot of debt. I'm thinking about, how much do you got to pay to pay that off? Like, that's my mentality. So I don't even find, bragging rights in that. That's not impressive to me. Unless you are able to take that degree and make a whole bunch of money with that degree, then it's like, okay, cool. But just to say, yeah, I got a master's degree, okay, and so does everybody else.
And I'm still not even impressed if you making a whole lot of money.
I mean, I would respect it more at least.
Mentally out of whack and you miserable, like like
I would respect it more at least. But a lot of people that got these master degrees and they're out here bragging and boasting and stuff, they're making way less money than the people, like you said, that don't have a degree.
I don't respect bragging, period.
I don't either, but I'm just saying
you shouldn't be doing that, period.
Thank you, Red Pill Savage. It says, great stream as always. Wish I had a sis like you. Appreciate you, Red Pill. All right. But that's real talk though, Mother. Like, I be like, girl, how much debt you gotta pay back though? And where you working? How much you make a year? Let me get these master degrees and just be making what, 50,000? Girl, please. I at least need to be making 500,000.
A degree nowadays, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just as useless as a dollar bill. Like,
it's so
many people. It ain't nothing to get a degree now. So it's really, like it has no value. Like, it's back in the day when like our parents and whatnot was in school, it was more valuable. But now it's like anybody got it. Everybody got that joint. Like, it don't mean anything, man. It has less value. That's why people are continuing to go to school. So the bachelor's now is worthless. You got a bachelor's is the same thing now as like a 2-year degree from a community college. So that's where the bachelor's worth is at now. So that's why people are going to get the master's and the PhD and things like that. Because these jobs, for one, are lying to them. If you get this, then you're gonna increase your pay gonna increase by this and all that type of stuff. So they get on these jobs and these jobs start promising them things like that if they continue their education. But now the bachelor's degree is just like a 2-year degree. What
are your degrees in?
Right. I got business management and marketing, and then I'm certified across the board to train. So I'm a certified trainer, certified nutrition coach. And then, man, I got another certification and forgot what that even is, but in regards to fitness. But like mine is.
Thank you, Brady. You said yours is what?
That's what I'm saying. I just got the bachelor's in management and marketing.
Do you regret getting your degrees?
I mean, I didn't want to go to school and like I didn't want to do that then. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I regret it. But I would say this: if I would go back and do it again, I would have got my degrees in something else, something way more specific. You know what I'm saying? But if I would have taken that approach, but if I can go back and do it with the stuff that I'm doing now, I wouldn't have even went to school. Right. But if I had to go through that process again and still was going to go to school, I just would have chose different fields.
What field would you have chosen?
I would have been into something like science or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that like physics or something like that. And I would have changed the game with something like that. Like I had a few professors in other categories suggesting that I major in that category, like philosophy, stuff like that. So there's a lot of other professors that they liked the way I was writing and stuff like that, stuff I was talking about, and suggested that I change my major. But I was a junior. I was like, I ain't trying to be in there no longer than 4 years. So I'm like, I ain't doing it. But if I could go back, I would have majored in something a lot more powerful, like definitely something with science. And I would have changed the game because I feel like that's where we slacking in the science.
What would you have? What field would you get into with that though?
It just like what you would have. That's what I'm saying. It really depends because I like to do the holistic. You know what I'm saying? Like medicine. Like I would have found a way to be able to do the holistic medicine and holistic healing. So some along those lines, maybe like chemistry or something like that. Okay. To where I could have been, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the herbs and whatnot on that level. I could still get certifications to kind of semi do that, but I definitely would have went to school and I ain't even gonna lie to you. I can reveal the plan because I ain't do it, but I would have infiltrated the system. I would have got their degree. I would have worked in one of their, I would have figured out how things work. Then I would have took that to my community and did my own thing using that information and what I learned. I would have saw how they did and I would have took it and I would have ran with it. And I would have did it exactly how they was doing it. Therefore, they couldn't do anything to me.
Mother, they would kill you. Like they kill all of them.
You learn from the past.
They kill all the damn holistic
right, you learn from the
doctors.
You learn from the past though. So you learn how to maneuver past that. Dr. Sebi made it a long time before they actually got to him.
Yeah,
it ain't like they killed dude when he was my age.
But he also wasn't in the country though. He was.
That's what I'm saying. You learn.
We gonna have to move, my love. Change our name.
You learn what to do. For one,
they ain't gonna get my chocolate. Y'all gonna have to get through me first.
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna go out.
You learn how to move.
I'll be your bulletproof vest, my love. Look, that's that pick me shit.
But
thank you, Joseph. He says, "Peace, brother. You two are the voice of the voiceless. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your generous donation. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. Is it C Joe? C Joe J? CJOJ? I don't know. Agreed. A degree is for your own education, for your own goals and growth, not to brag. Bragging shows you got the degree for other people. Yeah.
And that's another thing pertaining to women that just y'all do that. A lot of things y'all do is for status, like to show, to brag and boast to other people, so that y'all can give off this appearance that y'all got everything figured out, that y'all live in a lavish life. A dude, we don't care about that. Like, that's why I don't talk about I don't care about, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about any of that. But a woman, she cares about that. She cares about how people perceive her. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she feel the need to let you know about her 15 degrees to where she not even using 14 of them. And she care to tell you about the type of money that she making at the job she wanted. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why they be doing that. It's all about status, man. Like, y'all want to brag and give off this illusion that y'all living this type of life that y'all may not be living.
And that's true. I ain't gonna even lie. That's why a lot of females like marriage and stuff too.
That's what I'm saying. I know that. I already know that for a fact. That's why some women like to deal with certain dudes for the status. Like, this dude may be the prototypical type of dude. So she like, I'm gonna date him just simply because that everybody wants him. So I'm finna date him just because of that. It ain't the relationship has no substance. It's all for status. It's all for show. Yeah. Or he a businessman. He on his boss stuff. So that's the only reason I'm really finna date him. Like, come on, man. That's artificial and that's garbage. And when it fails, I don't feel sorry for you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Speaking of trades, the business YouTube channel has a workshop with certified business owners coming up for those that want to double their income in trades. Check them out for that. Do y'all have a Patreon? Well, no, I don't have a Patreon.
It was crazy.
You gonna make you?
No, I'm saying people don't understand, man. I be trying to get people I was ahead of the game before. Like, I was doing all this type of stuff before a lot of people was doing. I just never was consistent. I had Patreon. I created Patreon back when it first started. I done forgot my password and stuff, and I just never used it. But I had a Patreon way back in the day when Patreon became a thing, because I was already like, this is going to be the future, because they're going to they're going to regulate a lot of the information on YouTube, this, that, and the third. So I created a Patreon page years ago. I just never used it, man. Like, I didn't been on all this type of stuff. I just don't use it. I wasn't consistent with it. But I got a Patreon page. I just don't be on it.
Shout out to you, Just My 4 Cents. He says, I wasn't down in black women. I was showing how the relationship between black men and black women hasn't changed. If we are talking degrees, I hold a degree in electronic engineering and computer science. Yeah, we feel you. We feel you, Just My 4 Cents. He was the one that talked about the Bible and stuff like that.
Oh I was saying how I perceive the book. I wasn't talking about what you was. I didn't say you meant that, but I was the way I perceive it.
Thanks to Renzo. Renzo says, I don't mean to always give people things to look up, yet I've mastered the art of words because the word degree is the grade, as the D suffix meaning is to take from or off. Ooh, that is something. I can't have my people under my control spells through words. That is true though, my love. A degree, like to D is to take off, subtract. So why is it called a degree?
I mean, you asked me why it's called that. I mean, we could ask why every word. We could ask why every word is called that.
You know, that is something. Spells, y'all. I know I'm very magical with my spells. Don't play with me now. Who else? Shout out to you, Big Rob. I can't find you on the screen though. Big Rob sent a generous donation. Oh, here he is. He says, Mr. Bell, real black men see the value in a healthy marriage. In your opinion, is that simping? Teach, please. Ooh. So when you take care of a woman, when you love a woman, when you respect women, when you honor women, they will say that you are essentially being a simp or a weak guy or a soft guy when you are doing that. What is your...
First of all, I don't care what they saying if I know that don't apply to me. So really don't concern. I'm not concerned with what another man is saying about me. So like first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge that reality. I don't care, you know. And to me, y'all, some people have seen what I had to say about simping and all that. No, that's not simping at all. It's not simping. What I'm supposed to be doing, beating her and stuff like that. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the question that I ask. If all of these things are simping, tell me what I'm supposed to do when I'm, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship or married.
You supposed to have these bitches bowing down at your feet when you say you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? That bitch go in there, cook you some. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what you supposed to be putting your motherfucking foot down. You know what I'm saying? That's what you supposed to be doing, my love. You can't be out here being balanced and showing love, and you can't be doing that. You know, providing. That's some... The bitch supposed to go out there and work for you, nigga. She bring home the money to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they be telling us. All right, that's what they be telling my brothers out here.
I mean, that sounds good, but you know,
that's what they be telling my brothers.
You're like that.
But let me say this though. When you are able to carry yourself as a man and conduct yourself in a certain manner, your woman will do all those things that those fake ass pimp daddies are telling y'all that women should do for you anyway. Like my husband, he ain't gotta tell me to give him something. Nothing. Money, loving, okay, food, submission. He ain't gotta tell me to do none of that. And guess what? He ain't gotta disrespect me. He ain't gotta curse me out. He ain't gotta do nothing of that sort in order to get what he needs to get from a woman out of me. So just let that be a lesson to y'all. Y'all ain't gotta be out there, you know, trying to act like you just this macho man to get a woman to act right.
For the most part, it's just an act. Like literally what you just said. I mean, I've actually had that literal discussion with people in regards to simple stuff like you don't tell her when you want something to eat. I'm like, nah, she just know.
Yeah, I'm a cook.
First of all, we both be hungry at the same time. Like
I'm always hungry.
Like, why do I need to walk in the door and tell somebody I'm hungry? Like I feel like stuff like that is pointless and taking it too far. Like I don't need to walk in like I need to eat now. Like nah, I'm good. Like this.
When my husband gets home,
she ain't gonna want to starve herself.
When my husband gets home, what do I do, my love? I immediately go to you and ask you, do you want something to eat?
Right.
Yeah. I go to him. Like he ain't gotta ask me that.
So I'm saying, so like that's just being in tune. Like if y'all not in tune, then that's a whole other issue. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got to be asking for food after you done worked 8-9 hours, like you just with the wrong person, and you need to evaluate that. Like and that's what I grew up seeing. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up seeing that. Like my pops do all this work, food there. You know what I'm saying?
Better be already there. You know, the only thing I'll be waiting on is for him to get home, and I ask him what he want me to make him. I just want to make sure it's fresh and hot for him, whatever it may be. Yeah, so I'm already on it. He ain't gotta ask me for that.
I'm not that type of dude, man. That's unnecessary.
Okay, so to get back to the topic though, because that does tie in. What do you feel men can do in order to get their woman on code to where they are in alignment with you and she is listening to you and she already knows what you expect and you want from her?
I mean, you just be yourself. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the time you done met, like I've stayed true to myself. Am I lying?
You ain't lying.
I don't go out of my way trying to be something that I'm not. So like I've literally just stayed true to myself, and that's the only way somebody can get in tune with you if you stay true to yourself. So the fact that I'm staying true to myself, it enabled you to get in tune with me. So therefore, I don't have to go out of my way to let you know, hey, I'm home. Like you are in tune because I'm staying true to the game. I'm staying true to myself. I'm not hooping and hollering, doing all this other stuff that's unnecessary that I don't feel like I need to be doing, that's artificial to me. So when you stay true to yourself, like that's going to allow somebody to get in tune with you and your needs and all that type of stuff without you even having to utter a word.
Okay.
So just stay true to yourself. Like just live your life. Consistent. That's it. Like be consistent. Like we can sit. Like I work. I do what I do. We consistently eat at the same time. It's like that's just how it unfolds. That's just how it unfolds. Like I don't have to tell you any of this type of stuff. It just unfolds like that.
Okay.
So it's called trusting the process. Like at some point you just got to do that, man.
And you feel like that can also factor into getting your
Because just imagine how it would be if I walked, soon as I walked in and say, man, you ain't got nothing, you ain't cooking, like you ain't doing that, and you was finna do it anyway. Like, just imagine how your attitude would like twist if I approached you like that.
Yeah, we might have a problem.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's unnecessary because you was finna probably do it anyway. So now you about to get met with that, you know what I'm saying, that rebellious type of energy and that mentality. Because a lot of times, contrary to what we've been talking about, like these women don't like to be bossed around, told what to do. So when you walk in instantly demanding food, it's like you got to know that ain't making any sense because she was finna do it anyway. So sometimes, man, you just got to learn how to chill out because they gonna do this anyway. You gonna cook the food because you don't want to be hungry. Am I lying?
Well, I mean, you ain't lying. However, it's some females out there that don't care about cooking for you. Like, I'm hungry.
But that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
right. Originally, you're gonna go through that phase, man. Originally, y'all both gonna go through that phase. But I'm saying, after you got years in the game, like I ain't gotta tell you that. I'm talking about years in the game. So at a point, you're gonna feel the person out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna feel each other out. That's the vibe and the connection I was talking about. So naturally, you're gonna have to go through that phase. It's gonna be ups and downs. But after years of being in the game, like now you got each other figured out now. You got them figured out at that particular point. You should be able to pick up on it instantly, whether or not like she gonna be going for that type of energy or whatnot. You should be able to pick on that easily.
Yeah.
Like I say, a lot of OGs, man. When I worked at the banks, a lot of the OG women, they was telling me flat out, like these young women don't, you know what I'm saying, don't know how to keep a man because they don't want to do the simple things that's required, like keep the house clean, cook, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you will pick up quite early if you're dealing with one of those women. You will pick up quite early.
So you said don't deal with them.
If that's what you want out of a woman, no. Because it's gonna be, you're gonna have a hard time convincing that particular type of woman to change. Because they brainwash. Sad to say, they brainwash. They don't believe that they supposed to be doing this type of stuff, man. And the media is validating that. I don't cook, I don't clean, still got a ring, all that type of stuff. The media is validating that. So they don't feel like they have to do that. So you're not about to, it's almost like trying to convert somebody to another religion. You might as well let that go. That's their religion. In their mind, their religion is, I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean, I don't owe you that. If you ain't put no ring on my finger, it's like at some point you gotta do this stuff before you get the ring so that I can, you know what I'm saying? So that I can know that this is what you're going to be bringing to the table. So at some point, you're going to have to do these type of things before you get the ring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just supposed to happen. But if you got it in your mind, if it's your religion that you cook, you don't cook, you don't clean, you still supposed to get a ring, I mean, you can't convince that person of anything. You might as well let that go.
So you saying in order to get your woman to listen to you and fall in alignment and all of that,
stay true to yourself.
Stay true to yourself. Stay consistent. And then earlier, though, you said you fell back.
Right. Listen, that is when I was talking about when I have let you know something over time. Like if I didn't been telling you the same thing over time, 5 months, a year, and you're not listening, then I'm going to fall back. And then once I fall back, now you feel some type of way. I was talking about that.
Right. So for that aspect and that element, do you feel like that can work for men in general? Like if you feel like you've been offering your woman some kind of advice or leadership or whatever, and she's not listening, to just fall back and don't say anything. You feel like they can get her to listen or adhere to what you're trying to say?
What it's going to do is just get her attention. You know what I'm saying? And that's at that point, a lot of times that's what men need right there, that attention. We feel like we don't be getting that proper attention from these women. Like that's all we need at that point. Like, so when I ignore you, it's almost like when y'all feel like we did something that y'all don't like and y'all try to say something that pushes our buttons. Y'all trying to get what? Our attention. Y'all trying to get our attention. Like sometimes that's just what we trying to do. It's like, all right, I'm gonna be quiet so I can get your attention. Then when I get your attention, now I got you. So now I'm gonna let you know all these problems, you know, and that's when you make a decision after you hash out all the problems once you get their attention, but you got to get the attention first.
And you know what else, my love? I feel like that is also an element of checking. Okay. That's the element of checking. Like,
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. You keep, I'm not arguing that. I'm saying, what I'm saying is,
because Ellie was like, no, you shouldn't have to check.
Right. I'm talking about initially when I presented the information to you and you didn't accept it. You don't have to check something. You shouldn't have to check somebody regarding that. But if I keep telling you something, I'm letting you know that you're not listening. then yes, you got to check
That's
first
what I
because
was saying.
you
Okay,
doing
I'll make
something
sure we're on
that
the same page. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Thanks again, Joseph. He says, I understand why you guys are saying about not to put your relationship on a pedestal. But to be real, if you really believe that, then you aren't aware of how bad things are out here.
And that's a fact. I mean, that's an actual fact. That's why I accepted that reality a long time ago. The fact that I'm doing like, and this, I don't like to talk about myself. Anybody that know me know
He
that.
does not have
But
like the brag.
I understand that I do things differently. Like I do things that most people, especially my age, are not doing.
Mhm.
So I had to accept that reality. So a lot of people gonna look to me in that light, like the way that I eat and stuff. That's a discipline that most people just don't have. So it's admirable. So I can't sit here and say in that regards, I'm just the average person. I'm just like you. Nah, the way that I eat is not how the average person eats. So I accepted the fact that a lot of people just admire some of the moves I make because a lot of people lack the discipline. So that's just what it is. Like I'm not on a high horse or not on a pedestal. I just understand in certain aspects I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
And I move different. And a lot of people aspire to do some of those things that I'm doing, just like it's people that I look up to that's doing things that, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You just got to accept that, man. That comes with the territory, man. So that's a fact.
But for real, it does also come with disappointment. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want people to be disappointed. Like, what if we get into it or something, or we not seeing eye to eye? I mean, first of all, y'all ain't gonna know about it no way, you know. But I just don't want people to, in general, pedestalize people and put them up there and make it seem like, you know, they're just these deities and you should worship them or aspire. Like, no, you have to figure your own life out and be your own goals, you know, because when you, a lot of that is attachment, my love, and you teach me about attachment.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it goes back to what I just said. Though I know I'm different than most. I know that most people got to be leaders. I mean, not leaders, but followers. So I know
followers?
that I know that we gonna have more followers than leaders.
Right, but I'm not opposed to that. What I'm saying is, don't get into a realm to where you're like actually feeling like these people can do no wrong, and you're holding them to an unrealistic standard.
It ain't even that. They
but a lot of people do that.
They rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? They rooting for you. Like I don't even look at it like they saying that y'all can do no wrong. It's that they rooting for. They love to see it.
Right, but it's a lot of people who take it the other route too, and that's why I'm saying in general, don't do that to anybody.
I mean, I think I'm insulting their intelligence when I feel like I'm telling another grown person they feel like another person can do no wrong. Like, I mean, that's just again, like it's you seeing something, man. You just aspire to that, man, and you just like what you seeing. At the end of the day, when somebody do something that you don't like, that you've been looking up to, like it's just gonna hurt you regardless. You know what I'm saying? So even if they don't put us on a pedestal, they like us. So even if we are like, even if they don't place us on this pedestal and we still have a dispute, they still gonna be disappointed. That's just human nature. So whether we on a pedestal or not, we on this platform and people just like what we saying and like what we talking about, they ain't got to have us on a pedestal. Even if we still have a dispute, they still gonna feel some type of way about it.
Right, but I also have younger people that watch too, and I know how the younger people are. Like I've seen so many younger people that be like, "Oh man, they broke up, or they didn't work out, or something happened, and now I just give up on relationships. I give up on love. If they didn't work, I know I can't find." And I don't want you guys to do like that.
Like I deal with the young. We all deal with younger people. What I'm saying is we was all on that type of phase, but they gonna get over that though. Because we didn't all been there, done that. We didn't probably came from households where we saw our parents and it was dysfunctional and we felt like it wasn't no hope there. So even if they not placing us on that pedestal, they still gonna watch us. They still gonna tap in. So it's really hard to try to control and dictate how somebody gonna perceive you once you are consistently on these platforms. You have no control over that. So whether or not we on the pedestal, people are watching us. So whatever happens that's negative that they don't like, they feel tapped into us, it's gonna affect them. Just like anybody that you tapped into when they going through something, you gonna feel it for them. You ain't gonna like to see that. No matter if you placing them on a pedestal. Now, I don't place anybody on a pedestal, but when it's somebody that I fool with, they go through something that's negative. I'm like, dang, that's messed up.
Yeah,
you know. So either way it go,
I'm still gonna put it out there though. Thank you, Chocolate Tie. If she not worth the program from the beginning because you have kept it 1,000 with her, she never will be. All right now, Chocolate Tie. Did I get everybody on?
I do not know.
I got you. I think. No, I did. Oh, we got all these generous donations. I'm missing them all, my love. Dang. Y'all know me and my husband be passionate. We can get a little bit long-winded and stuff. You know. And then we just completely missed the ball. Hold on. Dang. I got Joseph. I got Chocolate Tie. Dios. But who was this? Okay, I did get Joseph. Shout out to Joseph again. Shout out to Rob. Dang, Joseph sent 2 of them. $250. Shout out to you, Joseph. Do you got a wrench? You gotta give you a wrench for that. But Dio says, my name, righteous brother and sister. You continue to make me proud. This is the definition of Mayat. Anything you need, I'm here for y'all because I'm here for y'all. Peace, G and E, God and Earth. I think Dios is with the nation too.
Dio, hey, is that? Hold on, let me see.
Dios the prescription. I think he's with the nation of the gods and Earth too. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dios, but I think that he's
so
a 5%.
Peace to the universal family, for sure.
Thank you, Just My 4 cents. Mr. Bell, you are on point. Mrs. Bell, hold on to that black man. Y'all may go through ups and downs, but he is a good. I already know. I got this chocolate. What I call you, my love?
All right.
Chocolate,
chocolate stuff.
Gloriousness.
Man. You can kill that, man.
I ain't gonna never kill the chocolate, my love. You gonna always be my chocolate, okay? You just gonna have to be mad. Yeah, no. Yeah, I got Dios. If I miss anybody, I apologize. I'm trying my best to keep up, but y'all know how me and my husband are. Okay, y'all should already know we be talking. All right, we get to talking. All right, and again, shout out to you, Joseph. You showing all the love. Let me see if I can give Joseph a wrench. If I didn't already. Add moderator. All right, shout out to you, Joseph Johnson. I appreciate you. All right, my love. Now it's time for us to eat now, because I know you hungry. You just came home and start going off. Let's wrap this video on up, okay? Master 2, 5% too.
I don't know. I think he just putting it, but yeah, Dios, peace. I saw that. Saw the comment.
He said he was
making knowledge born since '97. So
okay.
He got.
Dang, Dios, how old is Dios? Dios like he about 25. See, Dios came on our platform. He came on, did a video chat with us. I had people call in. Dios 97. How old is you? Name a lie. I don't know how old Dios is. I thought Dios was probably around our age. Shit, but he been out here since 97. Shit. 97, I wasn't number 6 years old. How old is But yeah, peace to all the guys on the earth. Peace to everybody, you know. We respect everybody, all right? But wrap this video on up, you guys. I would like to tell my sisters personally that we absolutely should be listening to our men. Because when we don't, what we are essentially doing is inviting everybody into our house. We're inviting everybody into our relationship, and they can be very toxic and destructive. And a lot of people, ladies, I'm gonna be real with us. A lot of us are dealing with other people, especially if you're out there finding yourself listening to other women or females rather. They have not experienced a healthy relationship dynamic. They have not been in a relationship or a marriage for long term to where they can give you sound advice, reasonable advice, good advice as to how you should maneuver and operate within your household, within your relationship. And so just think about that, ladies. Who are you taking your advice from? You know, if you're not going to be listening to your man, who are you listening to? And how do you expect for your relationship to thrive and grow? You know, you can't have a healthy relationship if you're going to be ignoring the person that you are laying down with every day and you're supposed to be confiding in and trusting and, you know, loving and stuff like that. That's very dangerous for us. And I'm going to be real and be transparent. I was that way as well. And I'm going to tell y'all firsthand, all it did was create so much friction. So many arguments were had because I was essentially placing other people and their insight, their opinions over the man that I'm with. And like he said earlier, it could be some of the same things that he's told me or some of the same things that he said. And, that would really piss him off even more, because it's like, damn, I already told you that. And it took for other people outside of me to tell you that. That's disrespectful. So always find a way to keep everything within your relationship between you and your man, especially your problems. If you're seeking some kind of counsel or advice, and maybe if you do need an outside perspective, then maybe seek that. But as far as situations concerning you and your spouse, talk to your man about that. He's going to know more because he's actually there. He's actually the one that's involved. And it's just common courtesy and respect. Out of respect alone and keeping the peace, you need to listen to your man, because they're not telling you anything that you don't need to hear. They're trying to help you. Like, your man is there to help you. And if you do feel like you're with a man that doesn't know how to guide you or lead you right or tell you the proper things, then you just need to be single. I wouldn't even be with him anymore. If you cannot trust your man to guide you, lead you, and tell you things that are beneficial, just leave the whole man. Just throw the whole man away. Okay. But if you're going to be there in that relationship, you absolutely need to be adhering to whatever your man is telling you. You got any final words, my love?
Nah, I'm good. I said all I need to say.
My love said, he said what the hell he said. Okay, y'all take it or leave it. But I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, look at this, my love. Joseph just in here clowning, Robin here clowning. We appreciate it. We really do. You guys have no idea how much we do appreciate you guys for tuning in with us and showing us so much love and support. It really does help us out a lot. So thank you guys for pouring back into us. That's very beautiful. All right. Y'all go ahead. Y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way you guys can be alerted when we have more dope discussions in the future. Me and my husband are going to be very busy. Next weekend we move. So I don't know if we're going to be going live over the weekend. I'm going to do my best to, give you guys more content before we do move. But just stay tuned, you guys, because once we go ghost this weekend, we don't know when we're going to come back. We don't know. So y'all stay tuned. Definitely hit the notification bell. All right. And also, you guys, subscribe to my husband. He has dope content as well. His channel should be listed down in the description box and also tagged within the title. So make sure you guys go over and check him out. He has a lot of dope content surrounding, health, nutrition, politics, relationships, you name it. My husband, you just random, my love. You just got all kind of stuff that he be talking about. So y'all go check him out. He's going to also be offering you guys a lot of solutions. And that's why I love my husband so much. He's very much so solution based. So he's definitely somebody that you guys need to be subscribed to. All right, y'all. And also feel free to email me, demonrepoet@gmail.com, if you have any relationship topics, questions, suggestions, concerns, and so on and so forth. And I'll do my best to turn it into a dope discussion if I indeed feel like it is something that is valuable and worthy for us to talk about. All right. But I got to get in this kitchen and, well, actually, I already got that lasagna, my love. See, that's why I love making stuff that's going to last a few days. All I got to do is heat this stuff up and we ready to go. My husband bought me some vegan ice cream. Shout out to him for them vegan ice cream bars. My love, you the MVP for that. I appreciate you. All right. But I love y'all. We'll see y'all later. And y'all go get this book as well. All right. I'm getting ready to run my commercial. Y'all go get this book. Submission is not the enemy. It is a key factor to a healthy relationship. All right. Much love, Danica Marie. We are out. Peace.
Submission. Okay, let's be honest. We've been programmed to hate that word. Want to change that and tap into your feminine energy at the same time? You can. Introducing Submission is Not the Enemy. A basic yet powerful book written in simple language, practical, and easy to digest. It's your first steps on your journey to perfecting the woman inside of you. Available at Amazon.